time, I could care less if I had a sales rep that was sitting on the beach with a pina colada with an umbrella in it. It's all about production, you know. So the process is the process, but if you're not making progress in your journey, then something's wrong. You got to go back and kind of rethink the way you're doing things, you know, because just to accept, a lot of people I think get up and go through the motions, and so they can check a box, but it's not just about checking a box. Sometimes it's not just about saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Listen, it's a good start, but if it's not working, then it's time to go back in and tweak, you know, which it never ends. You're always tweaking, and you start to become aware of how to fix these things a little bit more efficiently as you go, right? Life's a learn. We're elevating up pegs of a game, you know, and the faster you figure out this peg, you get to go to the next peg and the next peg and the next peg. And it could be a variety of things. It could be opening up your emotional life, your relational life, your physical life, your marriage. It's like every one of these things unlocks wisdom and knowledge and allows you to play the game at a higher level. So you advance in society, you advance in your job, you advance in anything that you're doing, because you've already figured out how to problem solve these things and what it takes to get to the next place you want to go. It's muscle memory. You get better at it as you go.
What it takes to get to the next place that you want to go. It's funny you say that, because just the other day I read an article from CNBC about how highly successful people learn to budget their energy. And this is really interesting because you talk about time management and feeding your body good things, how you consume certain habits, but I never really thought about it as budgeting energy. So let's talk about that. How things that you can use to replenish your energy, replenish your mindset, get those ideas flowing, versus you might be not budgeting it correctly, and that's ultimately going to lead to burnout. Big
time. Yeah. I know Mike had some comments about this, but I just had, you know, this past week, I was in a rut. You know, I think that monotony is the enemy of creativity. And just like everybody else, I find myself on this hamster wheel of life where I'm mindlessly going through a day. If I look back on it, it's like, wait a second, what happened to all these hours? We're on the wheel. And so, you know, whenever I get to this place where I start to feel like this, I'm starting to understand now, I got to get the hell out of here. Even if it's for a day or 2 days, I got to go change my scenery, because the monotony has totally drained me of any creativity that I might have. So I got down to the beach, and I told Angelina, we weren't on the beach for 15 minutes. And dude, all of a sudden it's just a wave. It's what I've been missing to help solve some of these things that I'm trying to work through right now. And the minute that I changed my scenery and I got out of the rat race, off the hamster wheel, and man, they just started flowing. So it's like, God, this really does work like this, man. It really does. And now I want to police myself, because I find myself, get up, you go to I don't think about going to get my keys, my laptop bag, getting in the car. It's half the time I get here and it's like, what route did I even take? You know, it's like, shit, I'm literally on the wheel going. And listen, it's good to get into a routine and you know, there's benefits to all that. But shit, it really does steal your creativity, because you get in that rut, man. And it's like, oh man, it doesn't play well. The monotony doesn't play well with the creative mind. So I got out to the beach for a couple of days, and every single thing that was on my mind that I was stuck, it all came alive immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I think is really kind of interesting about this too is that you are almost like, prior to this, it's almost like you wanted to kind of punish yourself. You even said those words, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not taking a vacation until we get all this shit done. We've got so much work we have to do. I'm going to just plow through it. Yeah. I know I need to go do these things, but I'm going to ignore. We're not taking any vacations. We're not doing anything. I mean, you said those words.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you were hurting yourself. You're hurting your productivity.
I realized it.
By not doing that.
I was being a lying little bitch with what I was doing. I was lying to myself. That's the bottom line. Yeah. And I realized that it's like, shit, dude, this was not a good idea. You got to do this because you're about to, you know, there's nothing good coming out of this right now. So yeah, it's just, you're always learning, even when you get old. And I was trying to be this, you know, let me do this. I couldn't force it. Like the thing that I needed, I couldn't get by digging in. I needed to take a different tactic. So shit, we're always learning. I realize now when I'm in this place now, I just got to get, even if it's going and sleeping at a downtown in New Orleans and having a dinner, just getting away from the normal things that I do every single day, it seems like. So yeah, Try to break up the monotony of your day, people.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. I just started doing it this week where I would, it's almost like, okay, so I don't really want to take like what people do, smoke breaks.
Right.
But it's like at 3:00, you start getting that kind of drain a little bit on you, and you're just like, I'm just going to push through it. I'm just going to keep going. But it's almost like you lose focus. You're not as dialed in as you could be. So I've just been taking like a 15-minute walk right here on the lakefront, and it really does. It re-energizes you. You kind of just put your phone away and you just watch the water, and you just kind of take that it's like a little mile walk for, in 15 minutes I'm back, and it's like, boom, I've gotten so much more accomplished now from 3:30 to 5:30 than I have all the times before, because it's like, it's a renewed energy, and it's kind of, again, pulling away from it. But you're almost like thinking, no, I can't walk away from work. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. What will people think if I step away from my desk? I mean, they probably need me, but you got to kind of get away from the rat race a bit and change your point, perspective and things. And I think it does.
It's all about winning. We're trying to win the game. So there's a set of rules that we kind of follow, but those rules sometimes don't, they're a standard set of rules. The idea is to win. So when you see a weakness in that strategy, you make adjustments, just like you do in a football game. Mike had to call an audible. The audible was, I need to get up out of my desk at 3:00. I'm melting, and I need to go take a 15-minute walk, and now it revitalizes him for the rest of the day. That's the way life works, man. When you're paying attention, you notice these things, and don't be afraid to, this was like an easy thing. Mike didn't step out on the ledge. Oh my God, I'm going to go walk for 15 minutes. But shit, man, like this is, if it's going to make you better by doing these things, why would you not do it? Like, shit.
I think it goes into the credits and debits
Yeah,
thing.
this article said, pay attention to your daily habits for 3 days straight. It says, spend 3 days tracking all of your daily activities, from commuting to work to scrolling through TikTok, and then see each action as a credit or a debit. Is it adding to your life, or is it subtracting?
Wow.
So to me, I was just like, bam. Like, we talk about this, but we never use these words to describe it. Yeah. And sometimes it's just offering that little change in perspective, and it just clicks, and you're like, wow, this is exactly what we talk about. We just didn't have a name for it. Now we do. A credit system.
Yeah. Think about, I bet you if everybody thought about it for a second, everybody's on that wheel.
It's a little humbling when you really do think about it. You're like, okay.
Yeah, you're on that wheel. The wheel is the enemy of life, man. You got to, we were not made to just get up and go through the motions, man. And, the drift, I guess we all drift in a certain place and time, but it's just not good. You'll see a lot of improvement in your life if you can. It doesn't have to be exercise. It doesn't have to be just change your routine up. And,
well, I think if you look at everything as almost a debit or a credit, like even as you're reaching for a food item, like is it going to be a candy bar, which would be a debit?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be an apple, which could be a credit, because it's two different types of energy. One takes away from you and one gives to you. So it's like, I think everything could be almost thought about. Like you have a bank. Are you going to put stuff into it, or are you going to take stuff out of it continuously? Me taking that walk, because my bank was low, my energy was down, that added a few credits, and it worked. It worked tremendously.
Listen, the most important thing is that you've figured out a way to identify these things, and you've given it a name where it's become real in your life. It's not just this thing that people talk about. It's real to you now. You got this system in place that you can justify what you need to do, or make you not justify your actions, dude, just because now you see it, you know what it is, and you're aware of it. Most people, it's just stealing from them. They have no idea. They're trying to figure out, why the hell can't I get going in life? Why the hell can't I, why am I not where people that are in my same peer group? Why am I not making the strides? It's, you can look back and probably identify the things that you aren't doing that maybe they are.
Yeah, I think, guys, go check out this article. It's on CNBC.com, and let us know. Like, track your daily activities for 3 days. I hope this helps, and hopefully, we can have some more productive days in here.